Got wood? Huh? I said, got wood? Say what? Okay, one more time. Got any wood? Well, hell yeah, I got wood, tons of it. And that's why we're gonna build this wood rack right here today on this episode. So don't you go anywhere. We're gonna build that right now and I'll show you how. All right, this is the wall that we're gonna put the wood rack on. It's right over the cellar, and right now this is just kind of wasted space, so we're just gonna go up with it and put the storage rack over it. And it will still allow us to gain access to the cellar. So before we screw the studs to the wall, what we did is a little prep work. We've located the location of each stud, and I've marked every 16, but we're only gonna use every 32 inches. So that's gonna be 4 studs that we're gonna put here, and what I've done with the studs is I ganged them all together, marked them 3 inches from the bottom, 3 inches from the top, and then every 16 inches after that, all the way down the stud, and then I drilled holes slightly oversized from the screw that I'm going to use so it'll move freely. That way it'll pull against the wall whenever I go to screw it down. And then I've also taken a Forstner bit and kind of recessed the hole so the screw head will actually go below the surface. That way, if I happen to have a shelf that'll go right over that hole, it won't interfere with how it mounts. Down here at the base, right above the baseboard trim, we're gonna put a kind of like a brace block that'll be down at the bottom to help distribute the weight of this wood rack, because I'd rather not just be studs and shelves. I want something that it can actually sit against as well in case it kind of sags some. It'll also have the base trim kind of help supporting it, and it is nailed into the base plate of the wall. Now, in order to span the distance, I had to make another one that will continue on that will support the 4th stud, and because there's only going to be one screw that'll be located in the stud on this piece of wood, I actually made pocket screws to go inside the other base plate to help make it all one unit.
Now it's time to cut the wood supports at 18 inches for the 2x4s. Then we're going to take the plywood and cut it on the floor. I find it easy to do this, and then when it's manageable, cut them on the table saw. Each one of these pieces is 5 inches in width. Now just cut them to length at 21 3/4 inches. Now just mark 3.5 inches from the top and 3.5 inches from the back, and then make a straight edge line. Now to cut these tapers in a repetitive fashion, we're going to use a one-time use jig. We're going to take the plywood and set it in place, and then take some spare wood blocks that I have cut and nail them in place to secure it in the location that we need. Then we're ready to make all the cuts we need for all the pieces we have. With this jig, you'll get great results first time, every time.
What we're gonna do is take one of these tapered pieces that we cut on the table saw, and we're gonna put a 2x4 between them, kind of like a sandwich. And what that does is it kind of creates a pocket right here for the adjacent 2x4 that'll be screwed against the wall to fit inside, almost like a mortise.
Now just do a little simple glue up of the shelves. Just put some glue on both sides and use the existing 2x4s you have as a spacer. Clamp it up and screw it down.
Okay, well it's time for install. Studs are marked and ready to go, and I just want to show you guys now, because my floor is gray with some fleck, the fleck color has black and some light blue in it. So I've painted the studs that are going to go on the wall, and this is going to be a theme throughout my shop that you'll take note. The shelves are going to be bright blue, and they're just going to fit together just like that. So we're going to go ahead and get things mounted. Kind of excited to see how it's going to turn out.
we're going to use to mount the studs is a lag screw alternative. It's a 5/16 by 5 1/8 T30 star drive bit. Its design is simply to help reduce cracking of the stud as it goes into the wall.
All right, everything's in. We didn't miss a stud on any single screw, and those suckers are set. So, time for the shelves. Now, one thing you want to make very sure of when you install these against this stud is to make sure that it bottoms out against that pocket, and this bottoms out against the wall before you screw it down. Now, if you notice, the way I painted these, I left the side that the wood is going to set on completely plain because I didn't want paint rubbing off on any nice wood. This is the part that's going to take the most abuse. This is the part that you're going to see the most. So I left it blue, bottom's blue, but this I left plain. I don't really care because it's going to be covered up with wood anyway. Here may be a bit much. I've sunk 4 1 5/8 screws on both sides, but for a little added insurance, I'm going to sink a 3-inch screw on both sides that'll come out all the way through to the other side, including both pieces of plywood. Not just the stud and the plywood. All right, that is the last screw. So, if you guys enjoyed this project as much as I am going to enjoy using it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can also check me out on Facebook, as well as Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, a whole bunch of others. Just check the links below and you guys can find me anywhere. So I guess until next week, I will see you guys later. We will probably start on my clamp wall because as you can see, my clamps are pretty bad. So I'll see you guys next Monday.